You are listening to another episode of Ned's Silly Season. I am your host, Liam Fogarty, and it is the second episode of 2026, but we're still a man down. I'm joined this week by Jack. How are you, my friend?
Good to be back.
Yeah, good, Chrissy?
Yeah, great, Chrissy. Good to escape the office for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And no one in particular, but just work in general. But
very nice. Did you get to see Santa? He treated you well this year?
Santa got me a Rip Curl gift voucher, so he hasn't delivered yet.
Geez, okay.
He's getting pretty slack, old Santa, but he actually got a Secret Santa head shaver. I haven't used it yet, but it's one of the bald ones, so
Jeez.
I could go full skinhead soon on the pod.
So Santa's really let you down this year.
He's
given you a reality check for Christmas.
Yeah, I must have been bad last year.
Far out.
Bad at punting, at least.
Fair enough. Okay, yeah, we are obviously a man down once again. Shad, who was here last week and you weren't, was getting his wisdom teeth removed.
Yeah, he wasn't the brightest character to begin with, and now he's losing a bit more wisdom. So,
all right, well, that's why you got a Rip Curl voucher. He seemed pretty scared. He doesn't seem very, very excited about getting his teeth yanked out.
Mate, ice cream and smoothies. What's not to like?
Maybe we should try and FaceTime him. See if he picks up. I think we should probably start this episode off by just shouting out our documentary. I know we've talked about it a million times in the lead up on this show, but The Longest Stand is out.
Yes.
It is dominating YouTube.
Yeah, it's actually become our most viewed YouTube video, just clocking over 460-odd thousand views.
We're very close to 500,000.
It's a great watch. It's about 10 minutes long. Our producer of the pod here, Rich, he did all the editing. He did all the filming. He did basically all the work other than hitting the balls.
He fed them to us as
which
well.
We
a lot
did,
of training
so,
he did. Yeah, so...
yeah, big applause to Rich. He's the MVP of the whole doco. But yeah, it was great. We've had great feedback internally and externally. How do you feel about the content?
I'm pretty happy with it. And also, thank you to our audience for watching it if you've watched it already. It makes all that hard work seem worth it when you see those numbers. So I'm pretty stoked.
I know. Was it that hard? It seemed like a bit of fun for you.
That's now that I look back on it, I'm like, yeah, this is pretty cool. We've got to come up with our next big thing. So
yeah, exactly. We got to go harder.
Back to the drawing board. We'll figure it out.
Maybe someone can drop some comments on the pod as what challenge we should do next.
Yeah, that's actually a great idea. We'd love to hear from you guys if you have any thoughts on what sort of punishment we should put on ourselves. Let us know. Maybe, I don't know, 24 hours at the pub. I could do that. Maybe just going to the snow. That'd be pretty cool. That'd be a really hard challenge.
Mate, snowboarding for 24 hours.
Oh, jeez.
Legs are gone.
I don't think there's a hill big enough.
Legs are gone.
Yeah, that's obviously one of the biggest ones. There's so much to catch up on you with. I feel like I haven't seen you in a while. Are you up to date with the NFL playoffs?
I kind of switched off of all sports other than the cricket over the summer break. But
let's get into that then. Yeah. How did you see the Ashes wrapping up? What are your thoughts on?
Well, the reason we did the longest stand to begin with is we weren't happy with where Test batting was.
Well, yeah.
And we were proven right across the first 4 games, and it took a good deck in Sydney to kind of finally get a bit of some decent runs on the board and see the 5th day of a test, although a spinner would have been handy in those conditions at the end.
Yeah, well, when Will Jacks is turning it as far as he is, I mean, you just sit there and think how good Nathan Lyon could have been on that deck. But yeah, I was... very underwhelmed by that series.
Yeah.
I thought that obviously England were really bad, but barring a few decent performances from the likes of Travis Head, Mitchell Starc, Alex Carey, I thought we were very mediocre.
Yeah, I think you're spot on there. Like, you could see the batting averages across board, and for all the hate and criticism that England got, they still had about 4 of the top 6 scoring batsmen in the series, which is just goes to show how much head and the tail did carry us a bit in some of those early games. So all the credit goes to our bowling attack, though. Starkey, first few tests, kind of carried us.
What a machine. 36
Absolutely.
years old, still doing it.
Player of the series. Did you think it was a bit? Do you think he deserved it over?
Yeah,
Trav?
absolutely. Like it was, like for those first 3 games, it was all him.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just with the ball. Like he hit 70 odd. Was that in Brisbane? I think.
Yeah.
In that he was the top run scorer for us in the first innings in Brisbane. Yeah, it was pretty much his series. So yeah, well deserved. But I mean,
3 or 4 first over wickets, you know.
God, I love
you
Travis.
You cannot
Head,
miss
man.
the first over when Starkey's bowling.
How good was Heady? Just
unbelievable. I think
everything about him.
I can't see him moving back down the order now.
Well, it's bizarre to see a 4-1 Ashes win, and there's still so many complaints about the makeup of our team. The real question for me, do you think Weatherald survives?
I just think he's got some glaring weaknesses in his game that he needs to work on.
Yep.
Maybe England were bowling well to him, but I don't know, he just falls over his wicket a bit too much for my liking. And then you've got Renshaw just hitting runs in every format at the moment and looking like a much improved batsman and a ready-made opener for that team.
I completely agree with where you're coming from. But for me, I feel like his technique can be coached.
Yeah.
But I think his attitude and his personality really fits in with that team. And I think for that reason alone, like at least give him another series to have a crack, because he seems like he gels really well. He did,
like when him and Hetty get off to a start, like the run rate's incredible. So
I had the pleasure of going to a couple of the days of cricket over the summer, and you could see he's really compact in his technique and his stance. He's really hunched over, and his favourite shot's the cut shot, and he can't quite pick that line against some of those bowlers, which is obviously a bit easier in the Shield. But I think in some of those slower decks in like India, for example, I think he might have a really, really good go of it. I've
heard a few pundits just suggest maybe you should take guard and more of a leg stump there.
Well, it would certainly help because that 4th stump line is where he looks to go, and he obviously chopped on a few times. Leading up in a few of the Shield games, he had a similar issue. So I would like to see him have another crack at it. I think he could be really, really good. And
my big question's around the Cam Green, Bo Webster, because I was calling for Bo Webster to start the series.
Yes, and
he just looks so assured. He just doesn't have a bad game. The big slug.
He only had the one opportunity, and he did exactly what he was asked. He did his job. He was robbed of 100 because the tail kind of fell off around him.
He should have gone in as the night watch.
Well, yeah, but also in that same breath, is Michael Neser just the most reliable cricketer of all time? You put him in any team, in any format, and he's going to do exactly what needs to be done for the team.
He's no fuss. He's a consistent line and length. Just the difference between him and the English bowlers was stark. It was just like, all right, what's your plan? Where are you bowling? What's your line? What's your length? Neser's just on. It's just like having 2 bowlers. Neser moves it a bit more.
Yeah.
But Carey, I think Carey made him look really good the way he kept to him and stuff, and kept the English batsmen on their crease. So.
Carey's the best keeper in the world at the moment. That's just insane. The way that he kept up to the stumps, to the likes of Ness and Boland, it was just unreal to watch.
The evolution of the bloke, like maybe 2 years ago, there was questions about him being in the team. Like Inglis was there knocking on the door. His batting wasn't quite up to scratch. Now he's rescuing the innings for us.
And I'm pretty sure he was Australia's leading run scorer in 2025.
Yeah.
So, I mean, full credit to Kez and everything that he did in 2025. I know that the T20 World Cup starts pretty soon. We might not play another test match until August.
I think it's August, September against South Africa, who are looking very assured at the moment.
I think we play. I know that we play Bangladesh in Mackay.
Yeah.
Is that our next
Home
test match? Okay, so we go to.
We got SA, South Africa away for
In
3
September.
tests,
Yep.
and then we got NZ at home for 4.
Yeah, God,
That's the
okay.
summer series.
Gee, that's not a lot of Test cricket between. Yeah, so that's what, a 9-month break.
And then we do a tour of India. So the next year is flat out.
27 is flat
Yeah.
out. Yeah, there's only 6 tests next year.
Yeah.
Jeez. Okay, well that's just the nature of having a
Short form. you got-
T20 World Cup
yeah.
every 2 years.
It's ridiculous. I don't know.
It's
why
just
they-
too much. It is far too much. But yeah, I feel like it's just bizarre that we've absolutely belted England, and I'm just sitting there wanting more. It's like I really don't think we
Yeah.
played up to our potential.
No, but it's the Ashes. It's the biggest rivalry. But England coming into it, I think they were ranked 8th or something in the world. Probably not that low, but they weren't one of the top 4 test sides.
Is there a team in world sport with more expectation than the Australian Test cricket team? Like
Probably the Indian Test cricket team.
maybe those two.
Yeah.
Like it's expected that they win every game, and if you lose a game, people are calling for the axe for any and all reasons. Like I can't think of another team in world sport, barring maybe the US basketball team when the Olympics rolls around, like where winning is the expectation in every game.
Yeah, especially at home. Like coming into this season, I thought England were a chance at beating. Like
That was what the noise
the rhetoric was all, England have got the game style. Australia's got the worst team in 10 years. You know, on these flatter decks, England should be able to score runs, blah, blah, blah. Just didn't happen. It was the opposite.
Look, I hope they enjoyed their holiday.
Yeah, back to Noosa.
Could you imagine how good it would have been for Test cricket if they were on the piss as much as they were and they were winning? Like, the game would have been so back.
Yeah.
We would have been back. They would have been like, everyone go to Noosa. Everyone, like, durries, vapes, pints, like, go your hardest. But, I think they're in big trouble. I'm fascinated to see if...
Does Baz survive?
Well, the call is to drop him, but they're so stubborn and so arrogant over there that nothing might change.
Everyone's backing Stokes to keep his captaincy as well. I think he was pretty horrible as captain this series. Like
Very negative.
very negative, very short-tempered. You know, didn't really know when to bowl himself. Trusted his bowlers way too much when they were just not delivering.
Yeah, and there was a lot where he was like, he just had to do it himself.
Yeah.
And if it didn't work for him, like they didn't have a plan B. And
he's just got no poker face either. I feel like you want a calming presence as your captain. Every time a decision didn't go their way, a bit of niggle in the field, bit of talking to Mars, bit of talking to the umpires.
there's toys out of the cot.
Yeah, he's throwing his arm. Every time he gets out, he thinks he's been robbed.
He's so hard done by. He's the most hard done by man in world sport, I reckon.
He's worse than Steve Smith in that regard.
When he doesn't mind showing it. It's so funny. It's just you know that like a good ball will absolutely ruin his day. It's so funny to watch. I get such a good satisfaction out
I
of
love
seeing
when
it.
Stark gets him out as well.
Oh, that's his bunny too.
Yeah. All right.
Very nice. I'm glad that we've had that recap. I feel like I haven't been able to talk about it properly in a while, but I'm just so disappointed that that's like it now. Like there's a big wait between now and the footy season. I'm not a big tennis guy, so I could not care less about the Australian Open.
You're not behind Bernard Tomic to make his comeback?
Well, I didn't even know that he was still getting around.
He's still plotting around. It's funny to look at it now and realise that he's probably going to have a longer career than Kyrgios.
Is that so?
Well, Kyrgios has basically said he's pulled out
Already.
Yeah, he's not trying to get a wild card into the tournament because he just doesn't trust his body in 5-setters.
Jeez.
Which has been the story for him in the last 3 or 4 years.
Is tennis really that grueling on the body? Like,
I think it is one of the hardest sports, to be honest. And if you're not 100% mentally there, physically you fall away really quickly because you have to have that training behind you.
The mental I understand because it's just you and there's nowhere to hide.
Yeah.
But I didn't realise that running back and forth and hitting the ball for that long was
maybe
actually
that's
that
our next challenge.
There we go. Some sort of tennis situation. You've got
mate, pickleball. I could play pickleball all day, and I do.
Yeah,
but you don't have to move more than 3 meters at a time.
I've never been around a pickleball court. It seems like a real old man. Thing to do. Okay,
geriatric sport, but that's where I'm at in my career.
You're pretty big at the nursing home.
Yeah, mate. You saw me in the longest shot. I played a straight drive about 10,000 times. That was all my back would allow.
It worked. Certainly worked. Look, you've got Oz Open preview written here.
Yeah, well, it's more of a Shad thing than anything. I thought we could. It starts on Sunday. Our only hope is De Minaur.
Yep.
He's ranked number 6 in the latest world ranking, so he won't verse one of the big dogs until the quarterfinals. So he has potential to get through. I just think these bigger tournaments, these 5-setters, would love him to go on, but I think he needs a few things to roll his way to make a final. He needs the big dogs to cannibalise themselves, but he just doesn't have that big serve. I love the fight. But, I just can't see. I think we've got Maya points on the female side. Okay. So that we've got 2 seeded players and she's ranked about 30 in the tournament. So there's potential, but she hasn't won an Australian Open fixture yet either. So I think it'll be the same old big dogs. You got your Alcaraz and your Sinners. Alcaraz hasn't made it to Australian Open final yet. So if he wins this, he gets the career slam. He would have won every Grand Slam.
Yep.
At the age of 22, which is the youngest ever. So
I've got the markets in front of me here.
Yep.
Sinners $1.80 to win.
Yeah.
Alcaraz $2.50.
Do you have our futures up there? I think I had Sinner.
Our actual. So you've taken Sinner and Sabalenka.
Yeah.
I've gone Alcaraz and Sabalenka. So they're the 2 favourites. Let's pull up the ladies. How are we doing this? Really testing my Sabalenka is the favourite, 275. So there's a little bit of value there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Swiatek $5.50. Coco Gauff $8.
Well, the thing about Sabalenka that probably turns me off in this market is she didn't beat Nick Kyrgios.
Well,
so if you can't beat Nick Kyrgios, how are you going to win a Grand Slam?
She's injured him. He's really throwing his back out trying to beat her.
She's retired him. No, she did hold her own there. She did actually exceptionally well against Nick Kyrgios.
The different size courts there really wigged me out. It was really uncomfortable to watch. Fair enough. I was talking to Shad off air about the tennis last week, and I discovered that in the Neds app, and this must just be a tennis punting thing, you can bet on the handicap. Have you seen handicap betting in tennis?
Yeah, it's a strange one to get your head around, isn't it?
It is, but it kind of made it really interesting for me because it was on the amount of games they would win by.
Yeah.
So like you'd back someone by -2.5, so they'd have to win more than 3 games than the other bloke. Yeah. And I thought that was a really, really cool way. As someone who doesn't enjoy watching tennis,
it's a way you can get into the early rounds, especially when people are handing out donuts all the time.
Well, exactly, and those early rounds of the tennis, like you've got to put a million legs in.
It's one of the great multi-sports there is at the start of a Grand Slam. So there is a bit of fun to have when you're betting against people you've never heard of.
Yes.
Eastern European bloc country. It's great. But especially, you're jumping on the Aussies early qualifiers to get the upsets, a bit of home ground advantage. Speaking of tennis, is there a more unbearable group of fans than the Aussie fanatics when it comes to supporting sports. Just the constant barrage of Aussie, oi, oi, oi.
Pretty bad. Like the Barmy Army's up there for me.
But at least they're creative with
are.
their songs, and
They are.
it's just embarrassing, I think. And tennis isn't quite that sport that cricket is in terms of the crowd noise.
I hate the you go nuts, but then you have to shut up.
Yeah.
It's
like,
just
all right.
really weird. Whereas like the only other sport you could really have to shut up is golf, but like you're not really allowed to make noise at all there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I shows you how much I watch the tennis. Like I've never really noticed them, so I might have to start paying a bit more attention. Seems cringe, and I know we've had some pretty strong stances on Aussie, oi, oi, oi in here before. Might be time to retire it.
Yeah, I think just create something original. But I'm with you on terms of the silencing the crowd. Like we've got professional they should be training in these situations. You know, it's especially with the serves. It's all in your power, the throw, the serve. It's your complete control. Don't get flustered by the crowd. You should be able to have vuvuzelas in there, you know?
Could you imagine like a full tennis arena of vuvuzelas?
Yeah.
That'd be pretty funny. I saw the Brisbane International the other day. They had to stop twice because of the train horn. Did you see that?
Yeah, no, I didn't.
So this poor woman's tried to serve twice, and both times she's thrown the ball up, one of the trains next to the ground is like tooted like at the perfect time, like, and the whole crowd's just stopped, and it was a bit precious. Come on,
it is. Come on.
One of the questions that Shad posed to me last week, and I'd like to hear your thoughts on it.
Yeah.
2026, we were talking about New Year's resolutions.
Oh, yeah.
And Shad floated.
Is he back to the gym, Shad?
Well, I don't know about that. He's lost a bit of weight this week, but it's in his mouth. He posed the idea of new year, new team. And he's had the idea of essentially jumping ship from teams that he's followed for his entire life and jumping on a new bandwagon in 2026.
Did either of you jump?
So he said that he'd like to start supporting the Jaguars in the NFL. And that went really well for him.
Yeah, as soon as he jumped ship, they're gone.
And I said not New Year. Well, I said I could get on board, but more New Year, New League. And we were starting to look in like the English football lower divisions to find a team to follow. We picked, we settled on like a Mansfield Town. But maybe Macclesfield's the team now after beating Palace in the FA Cup. So I said new team, yes, but not in a league that you're already following.
Yeah, okay.
Where you follow some dud teams.
I follow. The list is long in terms of the bad teams I follow. So we've got Essendon. Obviously, 21 years, no finals win. Although I'm holding out this year now that there's the wild card. So the top 10 make it to the finals, and that first round is considered a finals win. If you
have they said that it counts to the streak?
Yeah.
I feel like they've brought that in just for your mom.
Yeah, it's the Essendon rule.
You'll come 11th now, I reckon.
Yeah, 100%. Or we'll come 10th and then we'll lose. So there's Essendon, there's the Raiders.
The Canberra Raiders?
No.
Las Vegas Raiders.
Las Vegas Raiders. Could easily jump either of those.
Well, first round, they got first overall pick.
Got the 76ers in the NBA. It's pretty grim. Got Manchester United in the EPL.
Out of the FA Cup now.
Out of the FA Cup. Just sacked their coach.
Did they?
Yeah. So, there's a few candidates, but maybe what other sports have we got here?
Well, I like the idea of New Year, New League. So maybe we jump on the Brisbane Bullets or get some basketball going.
Can we get up some tables before I pick my team?
Yeah. Well, if you're gonna pick like.
Well, actually, jumping jacks. That sounds appropriate for me.
Jumping jacks. Oh, the jack jumpers.
The jack jumpers. Jumping jacks. So I'm real familiar with that team.
Yeah, big day one fan.
I'm a big day one Jack Jumpers fan. A-League.
is a league.
Is a league. I don't know if I support that.
Maybe the second division that they're trying to.
They still
get
doing
going.
Super Rugby? Is that still a thing?
Apparently.
I don't know. Maybe I'll jump on the All Blacks.
that's a good one to pick.
Major League Baseball. How about those Dodgers?
Yeah, they're pretty good apparently.
Yeah.
Jeez. For a sports podcast, it's sounding real dumb right now.
Yeah, no. Hockey, NHL. Who we got? Florida, the Panthers. Is that?
That's a team, I think.
That's a
Yeah,
team.
hockey's probably the one I know the least about. But I'm not sure I can back his idea of just jumping ship. I feel like you can't have the highs without the lows.
Exactly, and I've had the lows.
Well, and 19 years out of Brisbane Broncos premiership, I certainly enjoyed the highs last year. So I can confirm that it's worth the wait.
Exactly. At least we got the Maroons. They deliver year in year.
Yeah, well, certainly.
Oh, and they've got the State of Origin for the AFL coming back.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who's playing in that?
It's Victoria, and I think it's the Allies, or maybe it's Western Australia.
So it's the Allies is just like the best of the rest, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Let me have a look. State of Origin. No, it's Western Australia versus Victoria.
Oh, God. If it was South
Perth.
Australia, I could get on board. I feel like I'd be a big South Australia fan.
There you go. It's at Optus Stadium, February 14th. So that's coming up.
That's not far away.
We need to book tickets.
Well, that could be something worth going to, surely.
You're a day dot, Western Australian.
Yeah, I could. I'm
State
certainly
of
not a
Origin.
Victorian fan. Absolutely not.
We know someone who is.
Yeah, and that's probably the main reason I'm not. Yeah, okay, that could be interesting. Maybe new year, new team. I'm picking Western Australian State of Origin. and is that day one? I don't know.
No, they've done it before. Well, you are still that AFL invented State of Origin.
Oh yeah, God, I've been on the wrong end of that rant a couple of times. All right, why don't we take a quick break, big dog? There's a couple. We have a crack at trivia. A couple of little 2-player games we can play.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
Here we go. We've got a bit of play action.
bit of show and go.
Um,
Quick feet.
Someone that sells the play action a fair bit like that.
Mahomes, maybe? There's a bit of a wrist action there.
I'm thinking Aaron Rodgers is someone I'd like to start with. He's known for selling the play action like that. And that's a pretty wide net we're casting, like a few years. So he's not retired. He debuted way later. He's in the NFC. Drafted lower than the first round. This could be, I think, the next. A Dak Prescott might be.
Yeah, okay, I can see that.
You
actually.
can see a Dak Prescott. Bang!
Yeah!
How good's that? With
That's elite.
no context.
Yeah.
See, current players, I'm pretty good at this.
Do we try a random sport? What
Randoms.
else have you got in
What
there?
else we got? So we've got baseball, jump shots.
Oh, okay, do a jump shot classic. See what we got.
Okay.
That's giving me AI.
Yeah, I could see that. Should we start with Allen Iverson?
Yeah.
It's a nice little crossover.
Yeah. Same year.
Who else started in 96?
96. Oh, Kobe was in his year, but he looked small. What other clues were there?
Shooting guard, point guard. Did Ty Lue start same year as Iverson? I know that they had a run in.
Beef, but he's not American.
Oh.
He's not in the East. Not American.
And retired after Iverson, but I mean,
Jeez. Steve Nash.
That's a good shout.
Is he before?
2014. Bang!
Oh! Huge!
How good is that? Well done.
Buzz.
give the poor listeners a rest. We'll jump in our punning and then we can get out of here. It is time for the betting segment. And before we get into the 10 units, there is plenty to update you and the listeners on with our futures. So before we did the first step of the season, as you remember, we went through and listed a heap of our picks for a lot of the upcoming events in the year. Before we went away, Jack, you'd gotten 2 of yours right. You had Zach Purton win the Everest and Lando to win the F1 Drivers' Championship. I had Jamie Carr in the Melbourne Cup. That was the only one I got right. Shad had nothing. But over the break, Shad's got one back. He had Australia 4-1 in the Ashes. We've had a couple of elims from the College Football National Champs. Obviously, Ole Miss got knocked out last week.
Yep, devastating.
And Shad's team, Miami, who's in the Natty, knocked out my Ohio State pick the week before. So Shad's the only one alive in that. The Super Bowl winners, I've already had to draw a line through you and Shad. You've taken the Lions. They didn't make the playoffs.
Horrible.
I'm still alive with the Buffalo Bills, but that was
on life support.
That was up for debate for a while there. And then I've had to draw a line through 2 of our random futures. So you had Marnisford top run scorer in the Ashes.
I spoke him up a whole bunch. He got selected and then disappointed.
Yeah, and I had Nathan Lyon to retire at the end of the Ashes. And, I mean, I can't really count that. Yeah. They took him out the back and shot him. So not quite the same. That's probably all we need to update you on. Australian Open, Shad has Alcaraz and Coco Gauff. I've got Alcaraz and Sabalenka. You've got Sinner and Sabalenka. Do you reckon you get a half point if you get one of those but not the other? Or do you need both winners?
They combo.
Yeah. I think we can go a half point.
I reckon a half point.
Half point
that's
makes sense.
Ridiculous, Far out.
And because you were away last week, we bet on your behalf in the 10-unit challenge.
And what you bet on? Something silly, didn't you?
We tried to keep it realistic, and because we'll have to do the same for Shad this week. But we took 2 teams in the college football semi-finals for you. One was Ole Miss because you had them in your futures.
That's fair.
And Indiana were the favourites in the other game. So Indiana hit, Ole Miss didn't. So unfortunately, you didn't get any units there. Shad tried to pick the entire NFL playoffs card, and that did not hit. He got 2 wrong already. But I had a rare win. I had the Panthers plus 10.5 and the Bears to win.
Yep. Was that the line going in, or was that an alternate?
The Panthers had a 10-point line.
Wow.
And looked really good against the Rams, considering they're probably not playoff caliber just yet.
No.
So that was 2-leg multi at 361. So to update you guys, the listeners, and you, Jack, Shad's still ahead. He's 54.3 units up. I'm only down 22.3.
Yeah.
And Jack, you're in a whole 120 units invested. You are minus 66. So we're going to
take a week off and the boys let me down.
Well, but hey, now's our opportunity to really stitch Shad up. But let's go with where you're thinking first with your 10 units this week.
Well, my 10 units, I'm kind of hedging against your futures here by backing the same team. You've got to take out the whole thing. So I'm jumping on the Buffalo Bills to take care of the 1 seeds Denver Broncos on the road.
Yep.
Multied that with Josh Allen anytime touchdown.
I think he scored 2.
Yeah, he scored 2. There was like a big tush push that went for like 10 yards.
That was one of the best tush pushes I've ever seen. It looked like a rugby maul.
Yeah, exactly. So if Buffalo have a chance of winning, Allen's going to have to do most of the heavy lifting. So that's my multi. I put all 10 units on that one.
Very nice. I'm just going 10 units on the Chicago Bears to beat the Rams.
Yep.
The Bears have all the momentum at the moment, and the Rams barely got over the Panthers. I think Chicago have one of the best defenses in the league, so it could ruin the Matt Stafford playoff run.
What do you think of the Bears, the carry-on
I love it.
You love
I
that
love
sort
it. It's just so good. And like
Ben Johnson.
he's the man. And one of my good mates is a Green Bay fan, as is Ryan in the
Yeah.
office. So it's just funny seeing those boys suffer.
Salty.
We have a chance to stitch up Shad here with his 10 units. He said he'd send through his bets, but he hasn't.
Okay.
And I think it's only fair that...
Do we look at the other NFL game, or do we...
Yeah, so that is the Seahawks and the 49ers.
Yep.
And I know that who did he have last? He had the 49ers to cover last week, so he is a fan of them.
Do we take him to cover plus 7.5?
Yep, that's one leg. Let's not let him off the hook.
No,
that easy.
We'll
So
get it up to 3.
San Fran to cover.
Anytime TD. McCaffrey.
Let's give him CMC. Sam Darnold for 250 plus passing yards. That gets us to $6.22. So I'm going to write that down. It's the 49ers to cover, CMC anytime, and Darnold 250 plus passing yards at a whopping 6.22. And I just know that we've tried to stitch him up here.
I like that bet now.
I actually really like it as well.
Like it.
What is the line? It was 7.5. Yeah,
San Fran, they don't have any players left.
Well, George Kittle's done his Achilles. Yeah. But Shad probably hits here. And the carry on that we'd get.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, boys. That is exactly what I was going to pick anyway. So,
God,
you know me too well.
We might jump out of here. It's been a pretty good. I've got this.
Have you got a confession to make?
I haven't got a confession to make, but I observed something over the weekend, and I wanted to run it by you because I thought it was really cooked, and I want to know if it is cooked or if I'm just like a weirdo.
Yeah.
But this is probably a good way to wrap up the pod.
Could be both.
I was doing my grocery shopping on the weekend.
Yeah, what shop do you go to?
I'm not going to tell the listeners that. They might come after me.
It's not a sponsored spot.
Exactly. But it just so happened that I was crossing the aisles with this bloke the whole time.
Yeah.
And he was
how's the eye contact?
Well, the eye contact wasn't the issue. What he was he was smashing a whole bag of cheese and bacon rolls as he was shopping.
And you think he got them off the shelf?
Well, he definitely did. But like, I didn't clock onto it. At first, I saw him eating. I was like, whatever. But then you'd see him again in the next aisle, and he had the same amount left.
Yeah.
And I was like, it didn't clock on until like maybe the third aisle, where I was like, he's eaten the whole thing.
Yeah.
Smashed a whole bag of cheese and bacon rolls in the supermarket, and then
do you think
got behind me in the thing and just gave the bloke the bag to scan, and then made him throw it out. Is that play on, or is that like gross, putrid behavior?
That is, it is a bit gross, but like, because you're eating while if he was eating in the fruit section and going, which apple's ripe or whatever.
Well, you're just having a bite and put it back.
Yeah, or something like that. But the fact that he's gone and handed in the bag and paid for it, and so he's gone through the actual check, not the self-serve.
Giving it to a checkout chick. So what, you reckon that's play on?
That's like big kahunas that bloke's got.
I don't think you should be allowed to eat in a supermarket full stop. I thought it was weird.
Yeah. Like I've never been against having a grape or a nut here or there, but I'm not nutting in the supermarket if that's what you're getting to. But the guy I went to, the guy I lived with through uni, Tyson Williams, he goes by another name that you know, but he would go to the shopping centre and grab like a Big M or any sort of chocolate milk, or he liked lime flavoured milk. So this is just get into this guy's head, lime. he would go smash it in an aisle and then just put it on a shelf somewhere.
It's not
Like
shoplifting.
one mouthful of the
Never
600 mil and just
Open the gullet.
see. Whereas this bloke's, at least he's got the empty container and paying for.
He's honest, but I think it's gross. I don't
Yeah.
know. I think, imagine like you're touching all your like other stuff with your greasy bloody cheese and bacon fingers.
Paint me a picture of what this bloke looked like. So he's had a full 6-pack of the bacon cheese rolls.
He's just some like standard operator, like bald fella. Nothing against bald people, but I don't know. It really rubbed me the wrong way. I thought it was gross. I thought it was dead shit behavior. I don't know.
No, I think I can get where it's gross, and I think it's. You're not the weird one in this situation, but I think it's weird. It is weird, but I just commend him for handing in an empty packet. That's
I'd love to know what the listeners think. I thought it was weird, but yeah, I just wanted to get that. I needed to talk about that somewhere before I forgot about it.
They should add that to the kids section where you can grab a banana. Just have some bacon cheese rolls, some loose ones in there.
The divorced dads out there. All right, let's get out of here. Thank you very much, listeners. Hopefully, we're back to a full team next week.
Yep.
Thank you, Jack. Thank you, Rich. Thank you, listeners.
Thank you, Liam.
See you, Matt.
What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website